Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Microsoft Snarkathon. My name is Totalbiscuit, joined by the Alpha to my Omega, Jenna.
Yeah, you are the end all.
I was surprised you didn't just like straight up call me a beta right there. Like, ow.
I would never do that to you.
I don't believe you, not for a second.
I am a kind-hearted, loving, supportive,
Where's your noun there?
iconic,
You got
innovative.
It's a lot of adjectives. Where's your noun? Come on.
Well, I'm not sure if I could say it on air.
I mean, that's quite disturbing and a little bit disappointing, I suppose. Oh, my
I was going to let you throw something. I mean, I was going to let you finish it for me, but...
I'm going to let you finish, but nope.
Really? Because that's not what you said.
Welcome to the Microsoft Snarkathon pre-show. The Microsoft conference is expected to go live in about 10 minutes, give or take. There's nothing to show you right now, just DJ Wheat and friends sitting around a table speculating, and we're kind of sitting around a table speculating ourselves, so no need to see them do that. We are informed... It is expected that the Microsoft conference will run over 90 minutes.
It will run over 90 minutes
That's
because
what we're being told.
Phil Spencer said so.
Very specifically, and usually that's a fairly reliable source
I
on
should
that.
hope so.
You would certainly think that, wouldn't you?
Can we talk about what we think we're going to see today?
We absolutely can. I'm going to be speculating about that, and yeah, could run over to 2 hours. Twitch is scheduled to show a deep dive on Agents of Mayhem at 4 p.m. Pacific, so it'll be at most a 2-hour conference by the looks of it. All right, what do you got? Because you have been doing a lot of research, taking quite a bit of notes on this, so there's certainly something that you would love to say, no doubt. What you got?
Well, obviously, I can outright say what I don't expect, and that's going to be no VR or Windows 10 mixed reality headset platform stuff.
I believe
that's
they
not
specifically
happening.
said that
They've
they
already
were
said they're not
doing
doing
right?
that. So we can already, put that out the window. Things that I think, I mean, obviously Scorpio, we're seeing that. That
is going to be fairly heavily featured.
Yeah.
We got a pretty much hard confirmation on price tag earlier today from Jeff Keighley. He said
$499.
Yeah, $499 at $500. To kind of be expected, considering what we know of the power of the thing. Not unexpected. That does put it up above of the price of the PS4 Pro, but the thing is supposed to have...
It's more powerful than the PS4 Pro. We already have the specs, so...
Yeah, we do, yes. But, of course, we hear things like teraflops, we hear things like specification, but we don't know how well it actually translates into anything, necessarily.
Well, I mean, there have already been reports on it. I mean, they have had actual games ported over to it, not created expressly for Scorpio yet, because, obviously, we're not doing that yet, but there have been things ported over to it. So they were running Forza 6 at 1080p, 60 FPS on the old Xbox One.
Yes. They were looking at. They were saying 4K 60 native, weren't they, for that?
So then they put it on Scorpio. It can do the same thing, 4K, same FPS, and that was just a ported game. It wasn't optimized, and it only used 60 to 70% of the system's power at that point.
So they claimed.
So, well, this is what everyone was reporting, and there were journalists there.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and honestly, unfortunately, that isn't that impressive, because I'm sitting right here with my copy of Wipeout Omega Collection that also runs at 4K 60 on PS4 Pro. And when it comes to racing games, they are very shiny, they look great, but they're not actually that hard to render. There's because there aren't a lot of objects to show in the first place, which is why racing games usually look really, really good. Like, usually have a launch title racing game that looks like, oh, that looks incredible. Yeah, because it's not hard to model a good-looking car these days.
So this is
very easy.
This is why, like, I guess my next prediction, which I don't even think is really a prediction, I'm pretty sure we're seeing this, is going to be Crackdown 3, because I believe we were going to see it.
Almost certainly coming, yeah.
Well, it was going to come out. Well, it was supposed to come out. See, we're looking at now Q4 2017 release for this, but initially it was supposed to be scheduled. The multiplayer beta was supposed to come out last summer in 2016, and they delayed it. And it just seems kind of strange that, Scorpio was kind of like, coming and rumored, well, announced at E3, but, then all of a sudden Crackdown just kind of like went away and we didn't hear about it for a while. And so, I don't know. It just seems like maybe that's a thing.
I am almost certain
Let's throw a destructive sandbox on Scorpio and make it...
Yeah. What was interesting when they first announced that, which was good a few years ago before the Xbox 360, Xbox One even came out, is they were talking about the cloud will allow for more destruction, the cloud will allow for more stuff. The cloud, the mysterious Microsoft cloud, has barely even been mentioned since at this point.
Well, at this point, like, there are some things that they have released, you know, they've talked about as far as, like, what kind of constraints, I guess, the, like, single player versus multiplayer is going to enable people to do. Obviously, with the multiplayer, they want to allow full-scale destruction, like everything. In single player, it wouldn't even really make sense. Some people are like, oh, well, we're not going to be able to destroy everything in single player. Why would you want to in a single-player campaign if the idea is kind of maybe to, I don't know, maybe save the city and not destroy the city?
I imagine you're going to do a little bit of both.
You are, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm looking forward to I like the first Crackdown. The second one was a big letdown. First Crackdown was one of the best games on 360. I would love to see it on PC. Of course, we've been hearing over the last few years, and it's been put into practice, that Microsoft games, Xbox games, have ended up on the Windows 10 platform. It has been through the Windows Store, although some of them ended up on Steam afterwards. You know, Quantum Break ended up on Steam, Halo Wars ended up on Steam. I don't mind using the MS Store platform if I have to. It's just not it's not preferable. It's a really bad platform right now. It definitely needs upgrading. It needs to be made more user-friendly. I wonder if they're going to push further in that direction or away from it. Because what I worry about with the Scorpio is this, right?
Yeah.
The Scorpio being more powerful, they may push it as a get this instead of a PC, in which case they may say we're not going to put these games on PC because we want you to buy this. You know, for me, as a PC owner who has a top-of-the-range PC, I bought a Pro PlayStation.
Anyway,
yeah, I bought it because I knew some games would then run at 60, which means that I would play them. If I had no other choice, especially bearing in mind Sony has been running away with it on exclusives lately, sure, I'll play it on that, and if I'm going to have to play it on console, I'd rather play it on a Pro because it will run better, and there's several examples of games that have. And it's fine. It's a good little system. I don't mind it too much, but a lot of what Sony was doing was pushing things in the direction of 4K over frame rate.
Yeah.
Like prioritizing 4K over frame rate. A lot of devs have said, oh, well, we'll put in a 1080p 60 mode anyway, which I'm like, great, well done. Microsoft, from what I heard a couple of months ago, were not pushing 4K as hard. They were saying the freedom is there for you as the dev. You can make your mind up on that one. So I'm hoping devs will say, yes, 60 frames per second as an absolute certainty. Currently, the poll in the chat says that 92% of our current viewers voting in the poll have no intention of buying a Scorpio, with only 6.7% saying yes.
Well, considering that you are the PC gaming critic, and the audience probably comes to you more, I would think, for PC game reviews, considering you don't review console games. Yeah. I'm just saying here.
Yeah, and, you know, honestly, as a PC owner, why would you buy a console? Generally, because you have no other choice for an exclusive. That's really about it. And right now, the other two consoles are running away with it. The Switch has exclusives and has a good reason to play because it's portable. The PlayStation 4 has a ton of great exclusives this year. It's had an incredible lineup this year already. Microsoft, the biggest problem they currently have is... And I'm a moron, by the way. I actually let myself run out of space. 1.6 terabyte SSD.
I'm just saying, you know, if you happen to have that Scorpio with the 1 terabyte.
I mean, I'd replace it immediately. The first thing I did with my PS4 Pro was replace the crappy 5,400 RPM hard drive with a spare SSD that I had, which gave me quicker load times. I'd do the same thing with the Scorpio. I don't know what kind of hard drive they'll put in it. Probably
it's
a little
12. Bit. It's a 12.
Sorry,
so,
a 12 what?
I'm sorry. I'm actually reading memory at the same time. It's 1 terabyte, 2.5 HDD. You've got a
yeah, but this is 7,200 RPM or 5,400.
It actually did not release that. It did not say.
If it's 5.4 RPM, it's a piece of shit. I mean, 7.2 is bad enough as it is, but you'll be able to swap for an SSD.
Yeah, no, I was reading memory at the time because it's like 12 gigabytes of...
For $500, you better damn well at least give you a 7,200 RPM hard drive.
For sure.
It's ridiculous that... right now, you know, if we think about what they had last year, they're like, well, we know... we heard that they're showing no new Halo game this year, no Halo 6.
See, that's the weird thing is I'm still sort of predicting maybe a taste of it. I don't think we're gonna. I mean,
might throw it in there anyway.
I think they might. That's just me personally. I think that I don't think that they're gonna let it just slide and keep sliding. Maybe
they may have something.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
The thing is, we know that's coming to PC.
Yeah.
I'm hoping cross-platform play between Xbox and PC. We're seeing a big push of cross-platform play. PlayStation fighting games in particular. Tekken 7, I can go play with people on PlayStation. And VR as well, of course. You know, there's the cross-platform play with the Star Trek game. Not that it worked well on launch, but hopefully it'll get there. I would hope that we see that from Microsoft as well. What I'd love is just everyone to throw down their arms and say, yeah, okay, Microsoft, PlayStation, we can play together.
Yeah.
Friends don't have to worry about buying the wrong format. Because honestly, that's kind of what's killing Microsoft at the moment, because you tend to try and buy what your friends have got, because you want to be able to play with them for obvious reasons.
And for something like Sea of Thieves, where you have to rely so much on
co-op,
I mean, open world multiplayer in that way. I mean, you don't want to be limited by the platform that you've purchased it on.
No, you absolutely don't.
Another thing I'm hoping we see is State of Decay 2.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds great.
And probably Middle Earth, the Shadow of War. So the sequel.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Oh, and looks like we may be going something. All right, looks like we're getting something here. All right, bringing it through. All right, I'm going to give you some sound. Let's get some audio ducking going here. And away we go.
Yeah, we're not pushing 4K
Straight
at
Scorpio,
all.
out of the gate. No big surprise
we knew
here.
that was happening.
Welcome to the Microsoft conference. They got a slick stage. I'll give them that. Less green, more of that silver and black. I love the style.
E3 briefing.
It's a briefing. We're not a conference. We're edgy.
Yeah. Front loading with Scorpio stuff is probably a strong idea.
That's what everybody's tuning in for.
Yeah. The thing is that already we've seen that only 1 in 5 PlayStation 4 purchases the PS4 Pro. That's cheaper. How many units is this thing gonna shift? Like, almost nobody seems to really, in the general public, know what the Scorpio even is.
As long as they actually stock it, unlike Nintendo.
Well, the ability to buy it.
There's maybe a little bit of a higher chance that maybe people will purchase it. Just my thought.
Yeah, the question is, why do you buy a Scorpio? You know, Switch, the portability in and of itself is a reason to purchase. Why buy this over another one? I wonder if they'll push more on the price drops. I know there's a current deal going on where you can get a Xbox One Slim for $199 with a particular deal for a little bit. I don't know if they're going to do that permanently. Price drops always push console sales. Not a lot to say about this, obviously. It's like, here's a pre-rendered thing. I don't expect anything about HoloLens, honestly. It's not a consumer product, really. It's really... It'll have some utility, but they did say, again, no mixed reality or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what they said, but...
That's what they claimed.
You never know.
No, you don't.
Oh, is it hair-raising for you? Is it?
Oh, yes. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see which of the third parties get shown here. We already just saw some... there's definitely some Shadow of Mordor going on right here.
Which I'm actually really excited for.
Yes. And how much are they going to be reliant on those third-party? A Call of Duty, I wonder if they're going to get... They'll get some of it here, but will they focus on it in Sony conference? I don't know. We're going to see something about that.
If they're really trying to ship the console, then yeah, I think it'd be hard.
Did Sony get the... Sony get the early release on the DLC this time around, though? Because they've been fighting between Sony and Microsoft on that.
I am not sure. I wish I knew that information.
And guess we will know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer.
Let me know if sound's okay over there, guys. We did some adjustments since yesterday. Hopefully Jen should be a little higher there.
See, he knows, like, the official gaming uniform.
Graphic tee of some sort.
Graphic tee, jacket, jeans, no wheat hawk.
I'll give Phil credit. I think he can pull it off.
To those of you with us here in person, watching on this incredible 4K screen, to the
4K.
watching us around
Take a drink every time you hear 4K during this conference.
The projector's only 4K.
Watching and interacting on Mixer on behalf of everyone.
Nobody is interacting on Mixer. This I can guarantee for certain.
But what if we're not watching on a 4K display? What if we're super sampling?
Came together to form the original Xbox team and deliver the first Xbox console. We were driven by 3 principles: empower developers, delight gamers, and deliver true hardware and technical innovation. The original Xbox team lived by the mantra, there's no power greater than X.
Except for the base PlayStation 4 being more powerful than the base Xbox One.
Of the Xbox family, fittingly named Xbox One X.
X.
That is a terrible idea. What?
We can't even call it X-Bone. It's X-Bone X.
The most powerful
What?
console ever made.
God, that's going to confuse people.
Quality standard for gamers and game creators.
It's like the Xbox
Starting on
110.
November 7th,
It's like, what?
Xbox One X
What is it?
Joins the Xbox One and the Xbox One S when it launches worldwide.
That's going to confuse the hell out
It's
of
like,
parents.
I want the black one, I want the white one. That's what the kids are going to be like. They're going to be like, it's got to be this one.
So we're looking for a Christmas release on this thing.
For making the Xbox One experience great for gamers and developers.
Which I think is a terrible idea, because honestly, you know, if you're a parent buying something for your kid for Christmas, do you buy the $250 device or do you buy the $500 device?
You buy the one in your budget, and
Exactly,
it
which
depends
is going to
on-
be that one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Phil. It's an honor to be here at E3 and represent 3 years of engineering the team has done to bring you Xbox One X. From the beginning,
That one dude.
our focus
Yeah.
on game creators and you, the gamer, gave us 3 big goals we needed to hit: power, compatibility, and craftsmanship. Let's talk power, which starts with the specs.
Our dick is this big.
Clocked at 1.17.
Where's our teraflops? Give it to me.
12 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory and 300.
Yes!
Yeah, GDDR5, I don't know what that means.
Talk about the teraflops.
Oh,
yeah.
Floppy,
These are
floppy.
impressive numbers that are more powerful than any other console on every dimension, because that's what it takes.
In every dimension, in the entire multiverse, it would seem.
Can experience true 4K resolution, 4K textures, and 4K assets in your living room. And when we say true 4K, we mean 8 million pixels, high dynamic range, wide
But,
color gamut,
Mummy, Daddy,
sound like
we don't have a 4K television.
4K
What am I supposed to do?
Blu-ray playback.
You see, that's one reason to actually get the thing, because inexplicably the PS4 Pro does not have that.
We knew compatibility was critically important for Xbox One X, and your reaction to 360 backward compatibility has energized the team even more. So right from the start, all of your Xbox One accessories and games will work with Xbox One X.
Oh, well, of course they will.
For the team and me,
Did anyone really
that was a
expect
good
them not to?
We
You can't
want more.
afford not to these
The
days.
game
It's
library
just
you
not
have today
viable.
will look and play even better on Xbox One X with
Via
enhanced
super
fidelity,
sampling.
anisotropic filtering, and faster load times.
As we put a 7,200 RPM hard drive in this time.
Even if
Slightly
you
quicker.
haven't made the jump to a 4K TV yet, we designed this product for you as well. Since Xbox One X enables a technique called super sampling,
Oh, he said it! Oh.
today will look better on your 1080p TV than
Very, very slightly. Talk about frame rate. Don't talk about super sampling, which is barely beneficial.
craftsmanship. We meticulously paid.
Oh, no mention of frame rate. Great, because we're prioritizing the tiny benefit of super sampling, which is a massive processor hog over that.
Look, Total Biscuit, this conference is not about you. This is a briefing.
You're trying to sell a $500 thing on specs, and you don't even mention frame rate.
Transistors and a 384-bit wide.
You mentioned it, how many transistors you got and not frame rate.
most advanced processor.
But it also has like 8 custom x86 cores,
premium
clocked to
design uses every
2.3 gigahertz.
Oh, wow, 2.3. Oh,
Been architected for maximum power.
man. Almost as much as my Razer tablet from 5 years ago.
With 40 customized compute units clocked to 1172 megahertz. Oh.
You wrote all this down, didn't you?
I did. Because I was comparing it to everything for the PS4 Pro, for sure. I was like, why should I buy this, like, mid-generation console?
An engineer on the Xbox hardware team invented a new power management system so innovative, we named it.
Innovative. Ah.
You named it what?
Method uniquely optimizes every single Xbox One X at the system and component level to deliver consistent performance efficiently and elegantly. Now,
It said vapor chamber. It's not like full-on liquid cooling.
will mean a bigger console.
In other words, the thing hopefully won't red ring.
We wanted more.
We
Not
wanted more.
only have we built the most powerful console ever, Xbox One X is the smallest Xbox ever.
Why, though? For what possible purpose?
This is the system you asked us
You
to
can
build,
take it
and
with
it has been
you.
a great
Portability.
honor to
You
design
can
and
throw it in
build
your
it.
handbag.
I'm not gonna buy a Scorpio for portability.
And I hope you love it
I
as
totally
much
do.
as
I want to load this up in my handbag, and I'm going to take it around to
Let's
all
see
my
what
girlfriends'
this
houses.
can do.
We can just, like, I don't know, like, play COD, like, during lunch.
All right, here we go. We got some games. Just in case you didn't fall asleep during the explanation of how many transistors the damn thing has.
We've got camels.
4K rendered camels.
This is what you came for.
It's a racing game, innit?
Porsche. What is that?
Isn't it just a new Forza, is it?
It should be. It's probably the Forza 6 port.
I
that
thought
they,
Assassin's Creed got really weird all of a sudden.
No, it's probably Forza 6 remade for Scorpio.
Oh, great. Your first exclusive game is one that already exists.
Well, no, I mean, it's probably like the next gen. I'm just saying, like, because they were running Forza 6, like, for when they brought up all those people up to see how Scorpio was running, I'm just assuming that this is, like, the next installment.
Also,
Forza.
this looks like a lot of pre-rendered stuff.
I'm not sure.
This doesn't look like in-game
It
at all.
said a world premiere, so I'm, you know, this is obviously
Yeah.
a game that's not
It's
out.
Also, the footage is in 30 FPS, so...
This is what, Forza 7?
Either
Yes?
that, or it's Project Cars 2. That's a possibility. No, it's just Forza 7. All right.
Please welcome.
I can barely tell the difference between that and Forza 6.
Dan Greenaway.
Looks the same.
In the automotive world, supercars are debuted at international auto shows.
It's gonna, they're gonna pull a
Yeah.
car on stage,
Yeah.
aren't they? Oh my god, it's a fucking car.
For
Hey,
racing
be
on
quiet.
Xbox and
Shh.
PC,
Let it happen.
Forza
Let it
has become the premier partner to the automotive industry. So today, for the first time in history, a flagship supercar is making its world debut here at E3.
Oh, because y'all got pissed off that BMW got their, like,
You are
world
never
premiere.
going to let that go, are you?
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, they got their
This
world
year,
premiere
we
yesterday,
announced
so...
Look at our fucking car.
Amazing experiences, both in game and in person. Porsche shares our vision for the future of racing and esports. And this car
Porsche does not share a vision of esports.
Porsche. That honor belongs to you exclusively. Ladies
Show
and
us the car.
gentlemen, may I present
Just
the
do it.
2018 Porsche 911 GT2 RS.
Ooh.
It's a,
It's a 911.
I mean, yeah, it is 911. It's all right. It is.
But I could have waited until the Frankfurt Auto Show to see it, so... eh.
But now you don't have to wait anymore.
Features the most powerful
The build-up was
road-going
not
911
enough for me.
ever made.
I'll give Porsche credit for still trying to sell a car called 911 in America.
4.8 million active players across Xbox and Windows 10. Forza is one of the largest racing communities on the planet. You made this historic moment possible. Through your passion
Historic,
for racing,
iconic,
the digital
innovation.
and real worlds
Nope,
are merging
not getting any of that.
in an unprecedented way. So now, let's take a look at the Porsche 911 GT2 RS in Forza Motorsport 7 running on Xbox One X. I'm joined on stage by two presenters for our Forza Racing Championship eSports Series.
I'm Shannon McIntosh, professional race car driver and Porsche driving coach. I'll be pushing the GT2 RS to its limits on the sun-baked streets of Dubai.
And I'm Verena May, professional racer and stunt driver. I will be fighting to survive dynamic weather in the Nürburgring in this Nissan GTR race car.
We start with Shannon in her customized driver on Dubai. Using the power of Xbox One X, Forza Motorsport 7 runs at a native 4K and a rock-solid 60 frames per second.
There you go. Well, that's exactly what you said before, wasn't it, prior to the show?
Yeah, it is.
Levels of detail. Using super...
Apparently they're extending the mix pot. Can you explain what the mix pot is exactly? Whether I would like to be in it.
Is the mix pot something that they stole from the Creator Cave from yesterday's conference?
It's entirely possible.
But in Forza Motorsport 7, we've reimagined the entire racing experience on all devices.
How?
Racing is more immersive and dynamic.
Immersive.
All the skies roll in as car parts rattle and vibrate. We've made racing more epic and grand. Race through living environments.
Epic and grand.
Buzzwords, buzzwords, buzzwords. Tis E3.
You can see we
I mean, at least already we're not as bored as we were during EA. It's
no, this is why we're not snarking as much, because this is actually all right.
Windows 10, straight up there, so it looks like they're not trying to hide that. Hopefully it launches in a much better state than the last Forza did. Forza Horizon on Windows 10 ran like crap until recently.
It's more beautiful and alive. Dark skies open up and change as the sun emerges from the clouds.
But I can honestly never tell the difference between these racing games whenever they show them at E3. As like
only when the newer cars are in them can I even tell the difference. It's like,
me not having any car knowledge, I can't know. I mean, cool. It looks cool, I guess.
Whether running on the Xbox One,
does it look better than Forza 6? I don't really know.
Forza Motorsport 7 is the most technically advanced and comprehensive racing games ever made.
I think Project Cars might have some words to say about that, but okay.
Just a few.
Ferraris and Porsches ever assembled.
Today,
play anywhere.
Yeah, which I like. That's cool.
GT2 RS. And this week at E3, like me, you can be the first to drive it.
So come experience.
She sounds so enthusiastic about it.
Well, she's not a professional presenter. She's a race car driver. You know, they're not used to being on stage doing that. I don't blame her.
In Forza Motorsport 7. Thank you.
At least they're not dragging out each segment like with previous conference
nicely paced.
We might not talk about.
So far, but we do have at least another 90 minutes of this.
I'm gonna play.
Really? There is no way in a million years that you did not staff that entire area with people
It's like
to
you
cheer
brought
for you.
everyone down from Bungie, didn't you? You just brought everyone down.
Well, if they're not showing Halo, I doubt it. Although Destiny 2, entirely possible.
Yeah.
But
I have a feeling.
Didn't Sony get most of that last time, though?
They did.
Yeah, I don't think Microsoft will got it.
With a lineup of different types of games for every type of gamer.
The largest and most diverse games lineup on an Xbox? Compared to what?
I do have questions about the mixed pot giveaway. What is
a
this?
mixed pot?
From creators large and small.
Can you eat it?
What are you talking about? Compared to what? The Switch? Because Sony is kicking your ass in that respect right now.
The boundary of our art form. Today, we will feature 42 games here on our stage.
Wow, okay. Sure, we'll at least have plenty to talk about.
Including 22 games with console exclusivity on Xbox One.
Console exclusivity. Did not say that it won't be on Windows. Probably will be.
Great on each member of the Xbox One family, but of course, they will play best on Xbox One X.
Unless you're on a PC, in which case. I mean, to be fair, like, throwing the whole PC Master Race thing out the window for a second, to get an equivalent of the specs of an Xbox One X right now would cost you more than $500.
It would.
That will not be the case eventually, but that's... The point of buying a PC is the ability to scale it and upgrade it and pay more for more power and not be restricted by what the box is capable of. So it's not like it's not going to be good value
Another
for the
world
power.
premiere.
It will be.
It's happening.
All right. Looks like the Blood Division again. Please tell me it's not. That's the last thing we need. Oh, it's a new Metro. I had no idea they were making a new one of those. That music has been used how often in trailers? I
liked Metro though.
Metro is excellent.
That was good.
It's excellent. I would love to play a new one. So the fact that we are getting one is great. Obviously, I'll play it on PC. They didn't say anything about this being a Microsoft console exclusive.
No, but they did say on Windows 10 as well.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if they do have this as a Microsoft console exclusive, it's not on PlayStation, that's quite a big coup.
Yeah.
That's... And, I mean, Metro is great. It's not going to be a Windows 10 store. No way. No way.
It just said Windows 10.
Yeah, but it's not going to be
yeah.
exclusive to the Windows 10 store. There's not a chance in hell. It's sold way too well on Steam for that to be the case. Looks good. Loving those particle effects, loving what they're doing with the weapons, it being a very jank kind of improvised looking weapon. And of course that immersion factor of you take the UI away.
Yeah.
You'd say, oh, this looks pre-rendered. No.
No.
If you played Ranger mode on Metro, that's what it looks like. You rely on your wristwatch and what's on your gas mask, and your gas mask could crack and obscure your vision. It's phenomenal. Great experience. And that is mostly what Metro gameplay looks like. That's what the Last Light looked like. Hopefully you do not have to pay for Ranger mode this time again.
It's like, I'd love to snark about this, but I have absolutely nothing to snark at.
No, with the exception of that kind of QTE-like stabbing in the eye thing.
Yeah.
I think Metro had QTEs? It's been a while since I played it. Now I want to play it again, though.
I didn't finish Last Light, sadly.
I need to go back and just play Redux of 2033, actually. I never go around to that.
Came out when a couple other things were coming out around the same time. I think I was trying to give Fallout another chance.
I love what they're doing with the map there. They're going very Far Cry 2 with it. The sort of more manual-looking map. Metro's always been good about being a game that you can play without helpers and pointers in the right direction, whereas a lot of these other games, you can turn those off, but the game was never designed to work that way. I mean, of course it's not represented in the actual game. It's E3 footage. We assume everything isn't.
Of course.
But the thing is, Metro Last Light looked this good in the first place, and that was years ago. So, there you go. Grabbing it right out, getting your bolt back from the corpse. Yep. It had that nice little spark of survival aspect to it that I really loved, but they didn't go too far in on that. Nope! All you did was piss it off.
And now you're gonna die.
Don't provoke the bear! Explosive?
Ooh.
Separate ammo types are definitely a thing as well. Send it off.
But no bear would willingly go like that. No way.
It's a radioactive bear.
Chernobyl bear is no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very happy to know there's another Metro, especially considering all the problems that 4A had during... If you read the story of 4A's development during Last Light, it's tragic.
It is.
They were working like on laptops because the power kept going out. I mean, they were basically next to a war zone. It was insane. Like, the development conditions for that game were awful.
And they still managed to turn out an amazing product.
They did.
I want to go back and play Metro now.
Yeah, I did too. They say inspired by, because if I recall correctly, they're barely connected to the Metro novels.
Yeah.
I don't think the writer actually likes the games, if I recall correctly.
World premiere.
We're just going game here. I'm
all right with that. I am
This
okay
is actually
with this.
enjoyable to watch so far.
We are the first.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
It's supposed to happen.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah.
Yep.
The gods.
which I don't care about, honestly.
Yeah,
it's nice they took a year off.
Well, they could afford to. They got a movie.
Which was awful.
I didn't even watch it.
I'm told it's awful. I'll have to watch it at some point. Maybe if there's a Rift Tracks available.
Only reason I'll watch it is for Michael Fassbender. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna blame you for that. You're allowed that one.
He's a gorgeous, gorgeous man.
And built.
Apparently, so the writer of Metro likes the games. The Witcher writer doesn't like the games.
Well, I knew that.
Good
I
for
just
him.
didn't know you were confusing.
Yeah, I confused the two.
But there are whispers on the wind.
It's like, all right, Egypt's a cool setting. I think they could have maybe gone for something a little bit more interesting, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, what?
Well, Assassin's Creed's always done pretty well with interesting places.
Yeah, so you don't think Egypt is an interesting place?
Can be.
What?
It's been done a lot in games. Maybe not recently, but...
This planet is only so big. Like, where do you want it to go? Space?
Oh, interesting.
Like,
There's sort of Egyptian gladiatorial stuff going on there.
Like Assassin's Creed Antarctica? Is that what you're hoping for?
I think, well, not Antarctica, surely, but Rogue went pretty close to the Arctic areas, if I recall correctly. You can't fire 5 arrows simultaneously like that. Unrealistic nonsense. 0 out of 10. Wouldn't buy. Also, that snake probably wasn't real. But it does. Oh, it does look like a spinning fantasy into this one in a bigger way. You know, there's always been this conceit, this illusion of being based in real history. Apparently, they're just throwing that out the window. They're going mythological with this one.
Looks like it.
I like that, actually.
I wish I could say I like the Assassin's Creed franchise. I don't.
Either, no.
I can't get into it. I don't know why.
Well, they're all the same for the most part.
I like the idea of the story aspect. I just I don't enjoy the movement. I have never been able to gauge like being able to control those games well.
Yeah, it is a bit of a pain. It's got better. I'll say that. It used to be a nightmare.
Assassin's Creed Origins is also the story of one man, Bayek.
Already half the audience is in love with this guy's accent.
Protector of his community. An Egyptian sheriff, if you like. And his struggle...
I'm not sure if you could describe him that way, but all right, sure.
Egypt will lead to the foundation of the Assassin's Brotherhood. But recreating ancient Egypt, going back so far in time,
also, he also knows the official gamer uniform.
Oh, is there a graphic tee under there? Oh,
no,
yes.
It's a gaming tee.
It's a little subtle.
It's subtle. It's classy. It's classy. And he's almost has the Wheat Hawk. Almost. He's going for it. Even has the glasses.
Show you what the game looks like on Xbox One X.
You went X-Bone. On our X-Bone. Look at how stiff, thick, and engorged it is. It's just too far, isn't it?
Except
a little too far.
Except it's small.
It is.
That's the weird part.
It is the smallest one
part.
ever, apparently.
It's like RE
Small
penis console is so big but so small, actually.
Small but powerful. So what they're basically saying, you know, this is the foundation of the order, not you expect anything else. So that's interesting, because then it kind of cuts out anything before that as a possibility for future games. It's a bit limiting, isn't it?
It can be.
Show me some gameplay that doesn't look like all the other ones. I know there's naval something in it. Not that I'm so interested with that. Show us something cool. Show us something new.
Siwa, my home.
We're only start getting actual in-game.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, icons everywhere. I don't know if you saw the last Assassin's Creed game, but you opened that map and you were drowned in icons all over the place. Horribly obnoxious. It does not look like they've reduced that.
I wouldn't say I have too many issues with that. I guess like after playing games like Skyrim and Witcher and whatnot, and just kind of
just Icon City.
Yeah,
it's just too much. Like,
I don't know. Like in a game like this, where it's, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Assassin's Creed always struck me as something that's more about like closer clusters. You know, like buildings, building.
Yes,
So
yeah.
those icons would naturally be much closer together than something that's way open world, where you're traveling vast distances to objectives.
Yeah. So those commenting on the frame drops, by the way, obviously we're streaming at 30, they're streaming at 60, but yeah, there are definitely drops They're saying this is running an Xbox One. It's obviously not fully optimized yet. It's clearly not maintaining 60 or even close. But of course, Assassin's Creed has had a pretty long history of being badly optimized, as we know.
And it's alpha gameplay.
Yeah, Unity was a disaster piece on everything it was on, especially PC. So I don't know if they've learned their lesson.
This is like another point, I guess, since we are, snarking over the entire, well, not all conferences, but E3 conferences in general. Do you play it safe and basically show something that you're going to be able to sell in the next 4 quarters, or do you show games in alpha stages and just hope it looks polished enough to keep people interested?
It usually does. I don't think frame drops during E3 gameplay is that important for something that is coming out in like November. There is an opportunity to do that. But if you are pushing Scorpio so heavily and saying everything's running on Scorpio or Xbox X, One X, God, that's horrible.
It's like we should just call it like the Xbox Mini. It's like the iPad. It's like we have
XBX.
XBX.
XBX, I guess.
I don't know.
If you're pushing that hardware and capability as your front and center factor in your conference, what the hell is this? Level 6 bow? Oh, it looks like there's like a full-on loot system. This legendary bow? Oh, God.
Available when you pre-order Assassin's Creed.
Everything has a loot system now.
If the people see this dead beast, they will surely revolt.
It is too dangerous. We'll pass for now.
I doubt that. Ugh. Loot with stats and nonsense. Not what I was looking for in Assassin's Creed, honestly.
Has it ruined it for you?
No, but it's just a unnecessary feature, and it's a full Ubisoft kind of thing that they've been really going for hard lately.
Bird spotting's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if the previous ones had that, because again, I don't play the franchise because I find them too wonky for me to play.
I think they did. Not that I remember. Although I didn't play really any of Syndicate, so that might have had something like that. We said about Ubisoft it was Year of the Drone last year. I guess they're still continuing that. Level up ability points, skill trees. Oh.
This is just all going so downhill. It's like it started with frame drops, then icons, and then
every damn Ubisoft game. Every Ubisoft game, they homogenize their mechanics and design philosophies and systems so much you can't even tell the difference between the games anymore.
That's why this looked familiar. They had bird spotting in Far Cry Primal, which I played the ever-living crap out of.
Yeah, you did play a lot more of that than I did. Yeah,
tons of that, and I was just like, why does this look familiar?
Combat looks a lot more. I wouldn't say Arkham-like, but a bit more action-oriented than... The previous one was very kind of cinematic, you kind of can't lose sort of combat. That looks like there's more dodging in this one directly. A little bit more action or arcade-like. Oh, that first-person... Oh,
that's cool.
It's an ability. All right, you saw the way the arrow was tracking there. Damage numbers and all that kind of thing, RPG mechanics.
All we need is a card game, and this is Witcher Creed right here.
That's actually, that was what I was looking for that I never quite got there. Things have levels. Yeah, it's bloody Witcher.
Except in Assassin's Creed.
Just not as good. Yeah.
At Xbox.
But only if it has a card game, and only if that card game is good enough to get its own game.
Well, if it's Ubisoft, they'd love to sell it.
Of course they would.
Love to sell some microtransactions to that.
Oh, yeah.
And watch together. A whole new genre of games has emerged, designed for both.
Games don't have genres anymore. We were over it.
And with Mixer, we're innovating new features to make these experiences even better. This one's special. Of all the games in this genre, here is one that the world is having as much fun watching as they are playing.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds?
I can tell you that includes many of us at Team Xbox. The creative director of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds
How good am I?
Is a gamer turned developer who designed this game together with a...
And they're trying to push him on a Mixer because, like, that's the biggest game on Twitch right now.
Yep.
Brendan Green.
What are they going to do with this and Mixer?
Thanks, Phil.
The official gamer uniform.
Battlegrounds is a multiplayer battle royale where you must fight against 100 other players to be the last.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Mixer is what Beam used to be called. It's the Microsoft streaming service. Needless to say, nobody really uses it yet.
All Xbox One devices. Our development is truly community-driven. and we owe much of our success to everyone who's given us feedback over the past year. With over 3 million PC players to date, we can't wait to bring PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds exclusively to Xbox One later this year with an update.
We already have it. Not only does it not run very well on PC anyway, and they need to sort that out, now you want to move it to console? Oh, Jesus.
Exclusive.
Obviously, we know exactly what this is. We've seen it 1,000 times before on Twitch. I just wonder what Microsoft's going to try and do with the whole mixer thing, and whether that's going to cause problems considering how tied PlayerUnknown already is to Twitch. I mean, for God's sake, this month they were giving away Twitch-exclusive skins via Twitch Prime.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you can sign up for. You can get yourself a free subscription to our channel. Currently a free trial running. Go and check it out. It's just been launched in almost every country on the planet. If you'd like to get access to our VODs chat and the best emotes on Twitch, get yourself a Twitch Prime sub and sub to us for free.
Yeah, be able to post my husband's face all over.
The better version of my face, not the peasant version of my face that you get on better Twitch TV. Oh no. Speaking of which, BTTV just broke for me, so yeah, use that instead. And here come the faces.
That's right. Show your power.
I'm currently just watching chat more so than this. It's like, why would I watch this trailer for PlayerUnknown?
We've seen it.
It's half of the people we know stream this on a daily basis already. But Battle Royale will most likely be a strong genre over the next couple of years. You know, but people have been willing to play it even in completely unfinished states. This one is definitely doing stupidly well already. You know, 3 million copies. Jesus. Whack.
I have issues with games like that because I don't play multiplayer games anymore, and so
and that's all a Battle Royale is.
I know. It's like I love the idea of it. I can't. I don't know.
Console launch exclusive. What does that mean? A Coffee Stain studio game? What are they doing?
Let's try to stick together this time.
Oh, please don't tell me it's a goat simulator again. Oh no, yeah, they were doing some weird sort of co-op Destiny-like procedurally generated Minecraft-y thingy. Apparently this is that. But we know this is coming to PC as well. Yes, it's called 4 Man Sky.
Did you play Goat Simulator Payday?
I have self-respect.
just asking.
Deep Rock Galactic is the name of it, yeah. We saw a little bit about that earlier this year.
Exclusive.
Just laying it on today, aren't we?
I'm totally okay with that.
This might be State of Decay too.
Yes. Although I have issues with State of Decay, like with the way that the last one was supported. You can't even buy it on Steam, the original. You have to buy.
Really?
You have to buy the what is it? The
special edition thing.
Yeah. The Year 1 Survival Edition, which basically, for all intents and purposes, is basically a paid patch for a buggy game.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's kind of crap. It's crap.
Yeah.
It's like I always love like the kind of action, adventure, survival kind of games, especially one where it was more like about.
How do I keep calling this off the first second of a trailer?
I don't know.
It's an uncanny ability, isn't it?
I guess so. I don't know. It depends on what you want out of a game, though. Like a lot of people, I wouldn't say really compare, but like if you've played stuff like Dying Light, sometimes stuff like in State of Decay is kind of like child's play.
The thing I liked about State of Decay was it wasn't just a straight up action game. There was the management element of it, the sim element of it was the cool bit.
It was about, you know, pulling a team together and you know, uniting and sort of surviving, but
having
like,
your HQ be built and collecting resources and surviving stuff, that's good. That's interesting to me. That's the aspect of a zombie apocalypse that actually matters. Shooting zombies is the most boring thing there is. You know, they're the most boring enemy that exists.
You have other games for that. Tons of other games for that.
The human element of a zombie apocalypse is always going to be the interesting bit, the resource management.
It was like Zombieland, the video game, except instead of traveling, you stayed in your town and defended your town and tried to keep everyone safe. And I liked that as an idea.
How will you choose a place?
I just didn't like the fact that the original game was really buggy.
Wasn't the first HQ in a church that just looked like that? Yeah, because there you plant your stuff and you build everything. Yeah, this is 100% State of Decay 2.
Also, don't get me wrong, I liked Dying Light as well. I'm just saying, like, some people feel like if you play one, the other one is kind of like meh. But I don't think you can. Really, I don't think it's comparing.
They're not comparable.
It's apples to oranges, and you can't quite make comparisons in the same way.
Absolutely not.
When you get hungry.
The scavenging and the building and the survival and management aspects are key to State of Decay.
That is my jam.
I want them to expand that, and hopefully they do.
The only family you've got is about to tear itself apart. Will you end the life?
Wait.
Or save it?
Please.
This is our only one, but we need everybody we've got.
My apologies.
Why are you doing this?
I'm checking the space on the drive as it rapidly melts. I'm like, oh, I need to clear some space.
Well, I already told you before we even started this that it was going to be over 90 minutes.
I think I'm good, but... It's a shame this trailer is showing none of the bits that I even care about from a game like this. Okay, shooting things, yeah. Everyone's done shooting zombies. It's like, yeah, that looks like it's straight out of Left 4 Dead.
No one gets a second chance.
Well, no one's taking you to the Golden Corral buffet.
Oh my.
How will you find the strength to carry on?
That's what I was wondering during the EA conference yesterday.
What?
How will I find the strength to carry on?
It's like, oh look, we ripped this almost out of Lord of the Rings. Let's get on top of the cave troll and
They have a cave troll.
In this world of the living and the dead, how will you survive?
Well, we won't if you release a buggy piece of crap and then basically a paid fix.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
No, I'm not going to let that go. The fact that you can't even buy the original game anymore on Steam is just
well, if
bunk.
it was broken, why would you even want the original?
No, I'm just saying, like, because it was a higher price. They were like, even on the Steam page, I'm pretty sure it still says something like, you can't purchase the original version of this game, but you can buy the DLC if you already own the game.
All right, what we got here? Console launch exclusive. Can't identify it yet. No, I do not know what this one is. Huh? Interesting.
2 players remaining.
Oh, it's another Battle Royale game. Right after you pushed PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, you're gonna do that?
Well, they've got, how many was it, 42 games?
And what a play from the Wounded Warrior! She was caught in a trap, but she used superior tactics.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Here we're following Bloody Marrow. There's only 2 players left in this particular map. Those tracks are leading up, but that
Chief Shoutcaster? Oh, dear. We were doing so well.
I was almost not expecting cringe, and then it happened.
That beeline, and now he's going to cloak it up. Is he going to walk in through the front door or what? Looks like he's going to sneak in.
Would you take the front door?
One, twice. Immortal's in trouble. Somebody from Mixer decided to chime in. That invincibility bubble's gonna help him out.
Please tell me, so the idea is you're gonna have an esports event where people on the stream can put things directly on the screen. That sounds like the worst idea ever.
Race overpowered KKKKKKK.
Darwin Project.
Survival of the fittest.
It's a battle royale with abilities. It's another one. You want to buy things that you can get for free on PC? How many years has this been with Microsoft conferences where buy skins in our version of Minecraft?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, Notch has his mansion, and he needs to maybe, like, you know, pay for more 4K TVs and his new...
I don't think Notch is getting any... I don't think Notch is getting any money from this anymore. He sold the rights. It's just so bizarre to me that they would push one Battle Royale game with mixer functionality, then immediately, 10 minutes later, drop another one that is clearly going to fall flat on its face in comparison.
Well, every year they've been doing something with Minecraft, just like last year it was the whole Play Anywhere.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about Minecraft. I was talking about Battle Royale.
Yeah, no, I understand. But I was just, you know, making a point, like, you know, every year they have still done something with Minecraft.
Yes,
so it's not like we should be a surprise.
Keep hammering on it.
Well, it makes the money.
Oh, please don't make the presentation as bad as last year on Minecraft. Oh, no.
This summer, millions of Minecraft players will be able to play together on the device of their choice for the first time.
We did mention cross-compatibility, cross-play.
But that was last year. That's what they covered last year.
No, not to this level. And also, Microsoft doing that with Switch, you know, Nintendo in particular.
Yeah, that's different, yeah.
Yeah, that's a kind of them just sort of giving in and saying they had to do that.
Into the game itself. Because we know that the amazing content you create makes Minecraft even better. This fall, Minecraft will receive a free 4K update that brings more graphical options to the game.
Well, yeah, that's the priority in Minecraft, isn't it? 4K!
About graphics, we're taking things one step further. Today, we're revealing a new look for Minecraft.
Uh-oh.
We're super duper excited.
This is going to be controversial as hell, isn't it?
It's inspired by the power of Xbox One X and available this fall. Let's check it out.
Coming this fall, what you could get in a free mod on PC 10 years ago. God Rays. Super duper graphics back. Well, console finally catching up to what we've had for God knows how long. I wonder how much you're going to have to pay for it. Oh, the graphics were too much for the stream to handle.
That's what happens when you try to get it enhanced in 4K.
It's too much. I can't handle it.
4K again. Okay, I swear, if you all have died from alcohol poisoning at this point, you know, I guess as long as you
if you were playing the 4K drinking game, you made a horrible mistake.
Yeah, we are not responsible for you guys getting alcohol poisoning.
We had nothing to do with that.
No, no, no.
Microsoft's going to be hammering on this thing the entire time. Yes, thank God my blocks are now in 4K. How did I do without it?
Minecraft in 4K. When the Minecraft team showed me the first version of the game in 4K, I was blown away.
You were not.
Great example of a studio that started
vlogs.
something new and different that led to a global phenomenon. At Xbox, we're searching for games that are fresh, new, and in some cases familiar. That means ensuring that the biggest third-party franchises you want to play are there for you on Xbox One.
Which is why we lost most of the big third-party franchises to Sony over the last year.
It's like, we didn't pay enough for Destiny. Bye.
Nope.
But bringing the biggest blockbuster
applauding digital pre-orders.
Delivering broad, diverse, and new games to Xbox means searching to find unique games from creators around the world that will surprise and delight. To me, these next few games do just that. starting with the game I got to play on a recent trip to Japan. It's hilarious, a little crazy, and a whole lot of fun. Let's take a look at it.
World premiere.
Getting a Japanese-oriented game on an Xbox. There's a rare trick. Oh, it's Dragon Ball. All right.
Well, he said familiar.
It's a fighting game. Bloody another one.
But is it in 4K?
I'm going to assume so. I don't know. If you don't have a bit of text at the bottom of the screen that says so, how could I possibly know?
I don't know when to drink if you don't tell me.
Music sounds very Guilty Gear, I'll say that. I believe it's actually made by the people who are involved in Guilty Gear.
It would not surprise me in any way. Yay, anime games. Woo!
Says the person who watched God knows how much Dragon Ball Z.
I love anime. I do not love anime games. Except for Honey Pop. Something open world. What?
Indeed.
Something 4K.
What?
See, I'm telling you, we already know. 4K.
Well, you shouldn't be surprised by that at this point.
No, I know.
Question is, what is it? Oh, is it... That's Black Desert Online. Great, it's a port of something we already have. Alright. This is the issue where it's like, yeah, we've got a bunch of games that are all out on PC. I suppose that is the issue when you say we're going to show 46 games.
Yeah. Didn't say all of them would be brand spanking new.
Or not out already, yeah. Oh, they took the online bit out. It's like Black Desert, the MMO, apparently.
No, Paris, why?
It's a new Hellgate. I doubt that. I wouldn't say no to that, admittedly. That's a cool-looking boat, whatever it is. I like the aesthetic. What there? It's a interesting clash of styles there. Oh, yeah, I've heard of this. What is it? Now I sort of recognize it. That's very flashback, isn't it? Can't remember the name of it.
Last night.
Yeah, I saw something about this before. I can't recall much about it, but I love that aesthetic. Is so damn cool.
Yeah, it is.
You gonna see a little bit of gameplay? That would be nice. Nope. All right.
No.
Exclusive.
Okay, this one looks intriguing.
That's cool.
Interesting.
That's quite the turn, considering the last thing Annapurna like published out was like What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, is it an Annapurna game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are in the publishing business now, so.
Oh, all right. I thought it was like the same developer. No, this looks pretty mental.
I'm just saying it's quite the departure from the last thing they launched.
The Artful Escape coming when it's damn ready. All right. Yeah, it looks great. Whatever it is. Edgelord, the video game.
Oh, isn't it pretty?
It's Weeb Souls is what it is. It's like Dark Souls, but you didn't think there was enough anime boobs in it? Well, don't worry, we have the game for you.
Oh, Code Vein. That's that vampire action RPG.
With anime,
Well,
for some
of
reason.
course.
We've scoured the globe meeting with creative artists and development teams, and I'm often surprised and humbled by their work. Whether it's a story that can only be born of a different land, or artistic design and storytelling that, in a single moment, can capture your imagination and inspire. There is much to be
The
learned
devs
by
behind the God Eater games were the ones that are doing the heavy lifting on Code Vein.
Today, I'm excited to share with you an extended look at never-before-seen gameplay from Rare's shared world adventure.
Yes!
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 Exclusive.
This is the sort of thing they need. Because unfortunately, so far, while, yeah, there's some good-looking games here, most of these, like, well, yeah, they will be on the other consoles. You just may have to wait a little bit. They're already good. Obviously, it doesn't really matter if they're on PC or not, but when Sony's gone for the strategy of, we have a bunch of really cool stuff you could play only on PlayStation, the fact that Microsoft, the best they can really do is throw some money at third parties and say, give us it a little bit earlier, give us something special with it, is not a good sign. This is the problem we said they would have, and as of yet, we haven't seen anything that solves that.
Skulking above and below the waves. Oh, yeah.
Finally, a game with scurvy.
There she goes. Few things tempt a pirate like the siren song of a lootable shipwreck. Careful though, there could be anything down there.
Yeah, like Banjo-Kazooie.
Anything. We haven't finished designing it yet. Joking. That was a joke. Ah, sunken treasure. It's like a pirate performance bonus. Every player's decisions and discoveries will be different, but however you plan on seeking your fortune, it pays to be prepared. For gigantic lumps of iron, these are surprisingly portable. Amazing workmanship. Anyway, better get them back on board while the coast is clear. There's really no sense in pushing your luck down here.
Getting an idea of how Sea of Thieves is actually going to work as how the gameplay will flow is kind of important to me at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a PvP shared map. the open world multiplayer.
Yeah. So to what extent? What are you going to be doing in your core loop other than doing the whole ship fighting and repairing thing?
Well, I mean, the other part of it is crafting. There's a crafting system in it.
Of course there is.
Of course there is. But being able to like form a crew and everything, and I mean that's just like it's so cool.
I'm sorry, if that treasure chest was floating, it ain't got anything valuable in it, I'm afraid, unless you really like cloth maps.
Thankfully, for every tense standoff, there's a moment of celebration or shared wonder. But for now, stow your hard-earned loot and enjoy the voyage. On Devil's Ridge beneath the sands, the gold lies hidden from thieving hands. Well, that's typical. Oh look! Here we are at Devil's Ridge. Nice transition, by the way. And so you'll shift from the heart of the sea to the island.
I do like that they have like dynamic night and day cycles.
Always nice.
Every region has its very own landmarks, and over time, you'll uncover hidden shortcuts, abandoned stashes, and vistas that will steal your grog-soaked breath away.
It looks good.
Yeah,
I
it
admit that.
does.
Sometimes you'll encounter people who, for whatever reason, would like to blow you into little pieces. That's pirating for you.
I also like the fact that they never really seem to take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, it feels like a rare game.
Yeah, of course it does.
In pursuit of their own legends.
Combat seems a wee bit clunky.
Fighting and troublemaking until all your bits fall off. It's what they would have wanted. Now, make sure your crewmates all have a part to play.
As a lot of it's also going to come down to what's the griefing potential in a shared world like this. Are there going to be a lot of people ruining each other's fun? I would hope with something like this that does seem like it's aimed at a younger audience to some extent, that there are things built into the game against that.
You can always leave someone on board.
Of course, the ability to, I don't know, host a dedicated server. I know, the technology just isn't there yet, but what an incredible idea. Then you could avoid this problem entirely.
It would be easy to come a cropper in these claustrophobic caves. You don't want to wander off track. Unless, of course, you're streaming, and you'll have loads of people in the chat telling you what to do anyway.
Is it not a little odd to have them sort of directly address streamers in a trailer like this?
Yeah, it's like, hey.
I feel a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want to stream this because you know you're going to get viewers, and we would love that free marketing. Please,
yeah, we would.
please.
Drunken bumbler. You'll need to watch out for likely locations, following your map, clues, and...
I don't know, do Rare make bad games, though?
I mean, they made a bunch of crappy Connect stuff.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's like, I don't think like the company that made GoldenEye 007 could do any
It's
wrong.
not the same company, really. Everyone that was there has left, you know? It was gutted by Microsoft, essentially. This is the first real game they've done in ages.
In a while, yeah.
Closer to payday.
Then again, Chris still leading the ship, though.
That looks good.
Undisturbed for a long, long time.
Tim's son, Joe, by the way, just released his first game. He started his own game company. He went into mobile games.
Good call on the double duty shovel work, too.
The title for it is quite funny. It's called That Bouncy Thing, the rubbish-iest game ever.
I don't know how you found that one.
Very nice.
It's legendary. Pay $1.99 for a key to unlock.
Of course, the trouble with treasure, as a rule, is that the owners really like to hang on to it. If you've got your hands full, it's up to your crew to watch your back. And while they're doing that, it's time for another strategic withdrawal with the loot. Nope, not that way. That's it. Easy now. Don't stop, keep going. Almost there. Watch that next step, it's a doozy.
We'll see how a regular session goes. One that's not horrendously scripted like this. If it is anything like that, though, it's like, yeah, that will be a really fun co-op experience.
I mean, in this moment, I'm just kind of thrilled to see a game where a treasure chest isn't trying to eat me. Just saying.
You know there'll be a mimic somewhere in this bloody thing.
It's like, thanks, Sea of Thieves.
But yeah, most gameplay you see at E3 is heavily scripted. So yeah, is it representative of what the game's actually going to be? Probably not. You should take that into account.
People who actually work together in order to accomplish objectives in a live environment.
Oh, well, it certainly won't be a puppy group. I would never play this with a puppy group, not in a million years. This is the bit that I look forward to.
Scurvy.
Yarr.
It's gonna happen.
Love some sea combat. Loading yourself into the cannon.
Well, we saw it happen earlier.
And boarding a ship with it is pretty metal. I'll give it that.
You know, if Jack Sparrow were captaining that ship, that would have happened. Would he have sacrificed crew? Yes, he would.
Yeah, but that's without the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Yes, but you have heard of me.
All pirate life is here on the Sea of Thieves, and you can live yours however you want. So rally your crew. Swear your oaths and set sail for riches and infamy. Become a pirate of legend. Just try not to be this one.
Cool.
Cool for what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, the thing is they cut rapidly between sequences of gameplay, which makes me think in the real game, how much downtime is there between those cool moments? Tacoma, if I recall correctly. Which we haven't seen or heard anything about for a while.
Calling it all today, aren't you?
What can I say? I'm good at my job. Oh, it's coming out that quickly. Wow.
I'm surprised there's not more to see if that's the case.
I mean, it's a Fulbright game. It's mostly a walking simulator.
I saw a tail. What? Oh, no. No, not you.
Who?
No.
Oh, it's Conker.
No!
Is it Conker? No, that's not Conker. It just looks a lot like Conker. That is not in any way Conker. A small part of me said, oh, a Conker getting out. No, no. Bubsy? No. That's not a cat. Bubsy's a cat.
Come on!
They're coming back. 3D Collectathon platformers.
Why? I can't play these.
I have no desire to play these.
I know. It's just any game where it looks like my son would play it. He'll be like, Mom, why don't we play this?
Well, I think it's one single player.
You know, but he wants me to, like, watch. And I'm just like, I can't see stereoscopic 3D. I can't tell the difference between one platform and the other, so no, I can't bond with you over this.
Was there a VR Oculus game called Lucky's Tale that looked a bit like this? Is this Lucky's Tale? I never played it.
Not sure.
That fat alligator with the top hat. Super Lucky's Tale. Yep, that's what it is. So this was a VR game on Oculus, but like no apparent reason, because there's no reason to run a game like this in VR. You can't seem to make his mind up whether it's a 2.5D or 3D. I think it's both. It's shipping between those perspectives.
That's my problem with it. If it were just 2D, I could play something like that, but I can't do the whole mix.
Yeah, I couldn't care less. It's a collectathon platform, right? Couldn't give a toss.
this is what happens when you talk bad. The bad guy shows up.
Oh, no.
Aren't you scared?
I'm terrified.
Next.
Exclusive.
Not a lot of surprises so far, though, at all. Oh, it's Cuphead again, isn't it? Cuphead's never coming out. You're just gonna have to accept it. Also, exclusive? No. Cuphead was never... they got Cuphead as an exclusive. It was never supposed to be. What happened there? Somebody got a little brown envelope.
Anywhere, so...
Yeah, but this... I don't believe this was ever intended to be an exclusive. Well, we have a release date for the thing finally, and apparently they just...
That's it.
That...
Wow.
And it's as if a million Switch owners suddenly cried out in terror.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's gonna sting. I mean, obviously it's out on PC as well, yeah, but console exclusive means no Switch, no PlayStation. There's your Crackdown 3.
Yeah, well, we knew that was happening.
Yeah, well, this is good. This is actually something I wanted to see.
Shut up, Terry Crews.
In fact, it's only just begun. That's why we brought in you. You got the talent. Now you need the tech. Big things do bomb! Today, you throw grenades. Boom! Tomorrow, you'll be throwing cars. Forget dropping bombs. You're dropping buildings.
I'm feeling slightly intimidated.
Do you need some deodorant? Or you good?
He's too much man for me, love. I'm sorry. Okay, that's some cool stage effects. I'll give you that.
Determination to conquer all my ambitions.
4-player co-op by the looks of it. Collect 500 colored orbs.
I mean, I guess as long as maybe we don't get mutants and, you know, maybe some airborne vehicles would be cool.
We'll get those things. This looks completely different to what I did a few years back.
Well, don't talk about what happened a few years back. We don't talk about that.
The degree of destruction is impressing me here. I wonder...
So this is multiplayer.
The degree of destruction is impressing me here. The amount of terrain that's getting blown up.
Right. That's kind of what should be happening. Yes? Yes?
Well, yeah, but in a open world game like this, generally you don't have that level of building and environmental damage. It's hard to do. I wonder to what extent that's going to happen.
It's supposed to be pretty massive. That's all we know.
Yeah, and there's your release date.
Yeah, they're supposed to talk more about it, I hope.
Looks interesting.
If we go right into another trailer, we kind of...
Nope. They just... Oh, we're getting a sizzle reel now. All right.
Okay.
So maybe they...
I was hoping they would actually talk more about it, you know, specifically about that level of destruction. I mean, I know it's supposed to be way more massive in the multiplayer setting because it doesn't quite fit with what they want for the single player, but...
Well, they are pushing the 4-player co-op aspect of it, definitely. Ooh, that looks nice, whatever it is. Shame we only saw 5 seconds of it. Path of Exile coming to console, alright. Battle Ride as well.
Are they counting all of these little games in here as part of their 42? Probably.
Yes,
of
probably.
Course they are.
But outside of Sea of Thieves and Crackdown, you're not got a lot that says get me over a PlayStation.
Yeah.
There's just so many of these games here that are already out on PC, like Brawlout, Minion Masters, Battle Ride, Path of Exile. And Metro, yeah, we do forget about that. I keep forgetting about it because I always associate Metro with PC.
PC, yeah. I mean, I don't go to a console to play that kind of game.
I don't recall, did that say it was a console exclusive, though? Because the previous Metro games were certainly not.
No, I don't believe it said that, but I can't be sure.
I can't quite remember. Metro is not an exclusive now, I'm pretty sure. And when we say exclusive with Xbox, we basically mean Windows as well at this point.
It's not just about finding creative
It's like I want it on Steam because I'm a Steam hoarder.
And nurturing them, helping shine a light on their work, making it easy for them to build and share their creations. That's why the ID at Xbox program is so important to us. The team has released over 500 games on Xbox One and Windows 10 through the ID at Xbox program. And this is not just a milestone for the program and the independent developer community. It's a milestone for everyone who loves great games. I hope you're reminded today why it's so great to be a gamer on Xbox. Action, adventure, story, skill, surprise.
Everything that's already on the other consoles. If anything, it was just a reminder of they really don't have a lot going for them, do they?
Very special.
Exclusive.
There's another Annapurna published game.
Mm-hmm.
The dark is older than the light. At last a day dawned, and we rose with this first light.
This looks familiar.
But that light was a betrayal, only fleeting.
Oh! This was announced years ago. Wasn't it the one where nobody had, like... Yeah, nobody had a face. It was all flat shaded. I remember...
Well, no eyes, anyway.
Well, yeah, I remember that. It was just a brief trailer and no indication of what it actually was.
Faint and vulnerable. We will live in the new light rather than just survive in the dark. This rebirth will end our wandering.
I certainly like the aesthetic. Can't exactly remember. Didn't it begin with an A? It was years ago when we saw this first. Yep.
Ashen.
God, how good am I?
I knew it looked familiar. I couldn't place it.
Yeah, it was either last year or the year before they showed a teaser for that and they just vanished.
Premiere.
Of a Squeenix game. It's probably one of the Life is Strange 2.
It looks
Life
like,
is Strange 2.
I was gonna say, it definitely looks that way. Oh yeah, that's the soundtrack.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Bomb.
You could almost tell right away from the animation style, but it's like as soon as you heard the hipster music, that was it.
Well, now you're going to Ashtray with Oregon written on it. I think we know for certain.
I feel numb in this kingdom.
As good as this is, like, there's a distinct lack of surprises in this conference of any sort, is there?
Well, I mean, I guess surprise, if you can call it that, is just being able to see so many games in one fell swoop. I mean, in my opinion, that's what these things should be. It's like, this is what we have coming up for you. This is what you have to look forward to. Sure, we'll give you a little bit of info, but you know, this is what you have to look forward. I mean, I tune in for conferences for this reason.
It's a giant piece to convince you that the Xbox is a very much alive and relevant platform.
Yeah, that they are making things for it. Especially when they're trying to sell you on their newer console, you know.
Yes, yeah.
Especially with it coming out probably at the end of this year.
Yeah, it is. It's November for that thing.
only 3 episodes.
Ah, interesting. I wonder if they'll just make them twice as long.
Please welcome, from Monolith Productions.
I think they could have done with being a little bit longer for people who did actually play the full extent. Yes!
There you go.
This is what I want.
You tried to humiliate me. You left your mark on me, but it didn't work. You burned my mind. I'll kill you until this moment.
The Nemesis system, the most enjoyable, cool system I've seen in an open world game in a long time.
Yeah, they're continuing to build upon it in this one as well. Like, I guess the major difference for this is it's supposed to be way more RPG and more personalized experience instead of hack and slash. So you're still going to have that same kind of combat. It's supposed to still have the same kind of combat feel.
Arkham style combat, which I do hope they expand upon, because it did become very much a you can't die game if you mastered the counter system, because you could counter literally everything.
Situation that's bloody impossible, and saying, yeah, all right, I'll have a go.
Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Every orc in the world is from the northeast of England.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, it's, you know, kind of dark, grim, you know.
I just love the aspect of the warring amongst themselves and being able to screw with that.
Killed the boss.
I hope they do give those abilities much earlier, though. You had to wait a while to...
Nice.
That's the problem. To engage with the Nemesis system on the level it was supposed to be engaged at, you had to get more than halfway through the game.
2 new features we're really excited about are forging an army of followers and Nemesis fortresses. Here, we'll use the Ring of Power and recruit this Olog, Bruce the Chopper, to expand our army. Then, we're going to assault a
Sound is way out of sync on this one, but hey.
Oh, that was nasty.
Producers on this game said that Shadow of Mordor was like a complete learning study for Monolith, and so now this is actually the game that they originally really wanted to make. And so they kind of see this as like their Terminator 2, so it's supposed to be just that much better than the original.
Sorry, because the Terminator was better than Terminator 2.
I know.
Fight me.
It depends.
Fight me.
It depends. I don't know. Chat's gonna lose it now.
The issue, the combat looks very similar, although there's definitely more weapons. I saw a quarterstaff of some sort going on there.
It's definitely something to look forward to, though, if you enjoyed the original. And I did.
So did I, yeah.
The combat was the only thing I kind of had some issues with, and just because I wasn't used to that style. Because I hadn't played the Arkham games, and I was just like, ugh,
For me, if you've played the Arkham games, you've played all of the games that play that way.
Right.
And the problem with that system is it looks great and it feels good until you realize there's nothing to it.
Right,
like,
right.
It's very...
And that was the thing. I got very bored with it, and while the Nemesis system was the only thing that saved it for me.
To be fair, it was enough.
Yes, and it was. And so I think that at least this...
Build the game around that.
I think at least with this game being a little more RPG oriented and, you know, making that experience a little more personal, I think that that's a good direction for this kind of game to go in, to make it more worthwhile for me.
In Mordor, you'll need to do it deep. There's a fortress nearby. They say it's ruled by a two-headed troll big as a mountain. Deadly.
You're big as a mountain.
Oh, mate. Get down the proper enough of Magnus.
And get yourself some nice new digs as part of the bargain.
We don't use digs, though. That's not a word that England uses.
Will do. Oh, just make sure you let me pop his heads off, won't ya?
So a bit more of a sense of humor than the last game, I think. It was very grimdark, the last one.
The fortress and overthrow the Overlord. We're enormously expanding the open world of Mordor to new regions like Saragost and Cirith Ungol. Mordor's a massive, living, breathing world filled with orc society, tribes, and wildlife, as well as stories and secrets.
You cleaved me in two. Any other orc would have died, but I survived. More than that, I thrived. My brothers put me back together, stronger than ever.
I love that aspect to it. It's like, oh, you didn't finish me off? I'm coming after you, and I'm even worse than I was before.
It's the machine.
Yeah.
He's a machine tank.
Yeah, half his stuff is like metal now.
Yeah.
Because you chopped off his arm or whatever, and then he comes back and gets you. Those stories that were unique for everybody was the absolute best part of that game. I can't wait to see who I end up feuding with.
You dishonor the Stylian!
You see, like, half the things you do to hit him just aren't working because of his metal armor and everything.
Instead of killing the machine, we'll dominate him, so we can take advantage of his abilities during the fortress assault.
You take out the Overlord.
But before we charge headfirst into battle, we should plan our attack and select our followers.
Question is how the followers actually gonna work, and am I gonna just stand back and watch my dudes do everything for me?
Aren't you so glad that the subtitles stopped with all this? I mean, it could have been fun.
In brackets, screaming foreign language.
Ah.
Which is a pain in the ass.
Even he doesn't understand them.
You're all gonna die horribly. Yeah, my kind of black.
It's like Aussies translating.
Focus on the defenders. Define focus.
There are unlimited ways to forge your story and conquer Mordor in Shadow of War.
It's like, I ain't gonna wait for applause. I'm just gonna like come out here and talk.
Don't know quite about this unlimited ways. I have a feeling these fortresses are probably going to play out about the same way, but I am definitely interested in playing that. The last one was very good.
Oh,
hello.
A musical performance.
We're going a little bit Sony, are we? Sony had a full orchestra last year. We could afford a pianist. Our console's not selling that well. Sorry.
He did Ori and the Blind Forest.
This is Ori,
yeah.
this is Ori 2. Ori was kind of wonderful.
It was beautiful.
God, that
and I know, it's just like...
background detail is so good.
It kills me every time, this game. Yeah, please, John, please snark over this.
Oh, please. Even I'm not that heartless.
Try.
Ori was lovely. Aral is very upset for some reason, and I'm not okay with that. Cheer up the damn owl! Give it a hug. Hug it.
Do it.
There you go.
Originally, they were talking about like trying to get, well, the developer was like, or the game creator was like, I wish someone would, you know, obtain the rights and make a movie out of this, and I'm just like, yeah. It's like, it would be gorgeous.
Can't wait for them to ruin it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they would probably ruin it.
My belief
lovely,
beauty,
absolutely gorgeous.
Artistry, and heart within the art of gaming. We believe that games, like books, movies, and music, should be celebrated and enjoyed by countless generations. We're passionate about preserving and celebrating the games you own, the classics of the past, and the genres you love to play. That's why 2 years ago, we launched the Xbox Backward Compatibility Program to bring Xbox 360 games.
And if I recall correctly, the vast majority of people don't use this at all. It didn't factor into their purchase decision. There was a recent study on this.
385 titles.
Which is something of a vindication to the companies that said we're not going to do backwards compatibility on launch for our consoles because it doesn't actually matter.
I think it depends on like what kind of gamer you are. Do you replay games? I mean, that's a big thing. Like for someone like you don't replay games. Like you are always playing. I mean, it's part of your job.
They're actually doing compatibility with the original Xbox. Okay. How many games are going to release on that?
He's chuckling like he knew he wasn't going to get pop.
Of engineers are working hard to bring us some of your favorite original Xbox game to today's Xbox One library. Including a fan favorite that I'm asked about often by the community, Crimson Skies.
Yeah, great game.
And it looks great. And like the Xbox 360 games, OG games will look better and play better across the Xbox One family.
I mean, you would bloody hope so.
We'll have more to share about this program when it launches later this year.
I mean, when they did it with Mass Effect 1, it actually worked worse. It didn't run well at all.
I wonder
Crimson Skies, though, yeah. Please lead to a sequel for that damn thing. It's been far too long.
I wonder, like, how much crunch is happening right now, because it just seems like so many things for them are hitting the last quarter this year. It's just like, wow, all of that happening at once.
Killer Instinct, Halo Wars 2, or Minecraft will be providing 4K updates to these titles for free.
I bloody well hope you don't charge for that. That would be horrendous.
We have over 30 titles from our third-party partners that are planning to provide free updates as part of our Xbox One X Enhanced program. Titles like Final Fantasy 15.
Will that run at 60 on Xbox X, though? Because right now on PS Pro, it does not.
Wildlands and Rocket League, just to name a few.
Because if it is just a 4K update, that's wank.
We already have a large library of titles that you own today that will automatically get better on Xbox One X. Today, we showcase some of the world's greatest creators with a lineup of different types of games for every type of gamer. We showed you the largest and most diverse lineup of new games that have ever appeared on our stage. From every corner of the globe, from developers large and small, 42 games, including 22 with console exclusivity on Xbox One. And you're also going to be able to play all of the biggest cross-platform blockbusters on Xbox One. And every game will play great across the Xbox One family, and on Xbox One X runs every single game you've seen even better.
Bloody well hope so. It's twice the price.
So if you haven't joined the Xbox One family, now's the time. This week, you'll find Xbox One S available in the US for $249. And on November 7th, we'll begin worldwide rollout of Xbox One X, the world's most powerful console, at $499.
Wow.
There's your confirmation.
Unrivaled power and performance on the Xbox One. We close today's show by looking to the future with a really great partner. They've been with us from the earliest days of Project Scorpio, and they're building an incredible game that takes advantage of the power and performance of the Xbox One family and the new Xbox One X. Please welcome Patrick Sutherland, Executive Vice President, EA Worldwide Studios.
Dum, dum, dum.
Very
da,
possibly
dum.
still BioWare.
Yes.
Patrick's back. All right.
New IP. It's the lifeblood of our industry.
Yeah, it's Anthem.
It's also risky.
He looks like he was locked in the creator cave all night.
Streaming up a lot of projects.
The dead eyes.
And only the greatest will make it their
Almost
way.
like he was playing NBA.
It's all a part of the creative process. And it's worth it because when you find something special, there's no better feeling as a developer than introducing players to a brand new world.
Give it to
As
us.
a player, there's no better feeling than losing yourself in a completely new experience.
If it is Anthem, it blows my mind that they barely showed it at the actual EA conf. There you go, BioWare. It is Anthem.
Yes.
They actually held it for this? Well, okay.
Lush, savage, mysterious, and
someone got paid.
Filled with interesting characters and new types of gameplay you'll enjoy with your friends for years to come. This is what's possible when we take an extraordinary vision and combine it with the latest technologies and hardware. Amazing concepts become possible. Great ideas become reality. So here we are, and we are so excited to share this with all of you. On behalf of the team at BioWare, let's see what this game looks like running on an Xbox One X. Here's John Warner from BioWare to show you Anthem.
There was rumor that this was a Destiny-like game. I guess we're about to find out.
Hi, I'm John Warner, game director for Anthem. Here is the world premiere of Anthem's gameplay.
Wow.
Yeah, we've heard there be robots something. This is running at 30, barely.
Freelancer. Fraxling. Listen. There's trouble. Big trouble.
Well, someone got some real facial animators this time.
Mistake.
His face is very tired.
He has also been locked in the creator cave. Never gonna let it go.
Nope.
Unbelievable.
Forever trapped.
It was stupid.
I mean, I'm just saying, if it was Andromeda and this was a chick, there would be no facial expressions.
There's no facial expressions of any of them.
And no accurate syncing from, you know, lips to speech at all.
In the world of Anthem, you and your friends are freelancers. The heroes who leave the safety of the walls of Fort Tarsus.
It's Destiny, innit?
Explore the unknown and protect humanity. Let's join two players as they head out on an expedition.
Oh.
It,
You ready to go? We're just grabbing some supplies. Just
Why are you ruining it?
You are not a fan of the multiplayer emphasis of late, are you?
I don't have friends. I don't play games like with more than one person. No, like
right here.
You work. You do things. You play games all the time. The last thing you want to do to enjoy time with me is to play games.
I wouldn't mind. God, it even looks like Destiny.
Yeah, it does.
Bloody hell.
I just don't like my ability to play a game being based on having access to someone else who also wants to play a game with me at the same time.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
Nothing saying you won't be able to do the single player. We'll see.
Looking good. Nice, you've got a mortar equipped.
Oh.
You lead the way.
It's fake VoIP. That's pretty legit, though.
Yeah, that looks good. Although it does kind of almost like first drop in Andromeda.
Well, it looks like you have full control of this, so it looks like the world's a lot more open than Destiny's.
This is a vast open world you explore with your
There you
friends. Each Javelin exosuit has its own unique playstyle. The Ranger is balanced and on purpose, while the Colossus is a tanking powerhouse.
Right. Let's see up here.
Oh, God, fake VoIP.
The world of Anthem is hostile, and threats can come from any direction. This dynamic world where the unexpected is...
BioWare's embracing the jump jet is something I'm very happy about, though.
Yeah, he seems like a problem for another day.
Coward! You have a mech suit and you're scared of that thing?
I'll go low. You flank.
That was a beautiful water dive effect, I'll give him that.
It looks pretty.
Well, you can see where all the resources for Andromeda got pulled from. Well, the other way around, it's like, yeah, I can see this has cost them a lot of money already. My concern is that it goes full-on Division in terms of bullet spongy enemies and stuff, although so far not. It definitely doesn't look that way.
Have you been in there yet?
I haven't. We should do that later with Kim.
The question is, will fish react to you as you dive into the water in a realistic fashion?
Like, what's your fish AI like?
Always good to know. Important.
In case of, because I mean, like with Sea of Thieves, a shark will come eat you. So
well,
I'm
I mean,
just
we
saying.
Need to know about the fish eye. The power of the cloud will allow for it, no doubt.
Anyone, we're under attack. Anyone in the area, we're under attack.
I think that's part of Praxis' mission.
I guess the single player of this game would probably actually be Andromeda. So
I mean, it very much so. Yeah.
it looks
Big
just
open
like
world-y
it. Yeah.
Kind of thing. Oh wow!
Even
If
the
that,
UI.
Is that destruction dynamic or scripted? If it's dynamic, that's pretty impressive.
I'm just saying, even the UI is Andromeda. So.
It's also very Destiny.
Yeah.
Time to use that mortar.
Exterminate what?
I mean, that looks great. There's no doubt. But ultimately, we have played this kind of co-op shared world shooter before, and most of them didn't end up being particularly engaging. This one does look a hell of a lot more interesting than previous ones, though.
That's cool.
Yeah, it really is. Compared to something like Destiny or Division, where you're looking at spongy enemies, this looks like they've gone the opposite way. God, that could not be more Destiny if they tried! Look at it! Oh my.
Large-scale world.
Kind of like, almost like Microsoft just said, well, screw you, Sony.
Well, that's true, considering,
Yeah.
it's like Sony secures Destiny 2. It's like, well, we got Anthem, which is a better Destiny then.
Superstorm incoming. Okay, actually, let's get some more people. Hold on a sec.
If they do emphasize the whole "you are just powerful," I'll be very happy with that.
Hey, what's happening?
Less sponge, more wipe everything out and be awesome. Being able to bring new players straight into your instance like that as well is quite impressive. I don't know how... I doubt it's going to be that fluid and seamless. No way. It's like, go to the friends list. It isn't working! I can't see you online! Ah!
So what are we supposed to do? Fly into it?
Please fly into it.
All right, let's do this.
See you on the other side.
Our story is out there.
The potential to be excellent. It looks incredible. But we've seen this kind of game before and the problems that it brings. And that's probably about it. Yeah, this will be the sizzle at the end.
This will be our last push of, look at all this junk you can play on this amazing console.
Man, if they showed that trailer during the EA conference, we probably wouldn't have shit on it as hard as we did.
True story. I was just upset because we only had like 2 seconds of it, and I was just like, what?
That indicated nothing.
Yeah.
And that looks like Destiny, but good. And it looks like it's got the bits of Andromeda that I liked.
Yeah.
The whole sort of more open areas that you can traverse with jump jets and cool shit. And in this case, a wingsuit.
Right.
That does look great. The weapons look interesting. Does it turn into a spongy, grindy loot game? Hopefully not. Does it have longevity? Hopefully.
I think we basically saw everything that we expected to see.
Yeah, outside of Metro, though, we didn't see anything that we didn't expect, which was a bit unfortunate. All right. I think that is it.
Yeah.
Yep, that is absolutely it, folks. All right, let's get some music on and do our little wrap-up on the Microsoft conference. By no means bad.
No.
Not in the slightest. You know, no one could describe that as a bad show.
I kind of wish they would have led off the entire E3 conference instead of EA. Because then maybe...
EA just had to get out there day
yeah,
early,
well,
they?
I mean,
had to
that's...
set that bar low.
That's their jam. And I guess, in a way, it kind of makes sense if they were supposed to be giving the initial taste of the new IP for Anthem, and then following that up today. I guess the order of that makes a bit more sense now, but...
Yeah, Anthem is on PC, yes. Nothing that you saw on that stage today isn't coming to PC, but which is good, because we were concerned before this that Microsoft may have started to backpedal on that, especially with the Windows 10 store not being anywhere near a success, because it's just a dumpster fire of awful ideas.
Right.
But it seems like they are going harder on that, which is great.
I am slightly disappointed to not see even a small taste or a small teaser for Halo 6, especially given the whole, we're going to show you 40-some-odd games here, I think they could have, definitely thrown in a little bit of a taste there, but especially, I guess, if they're working on all of these games and the new technology, everything that's coming out in the fourth quarter of this year, like, who got time to make anything new at this point?
Well, considering how much they're releasing in November already.
That's what I mean. Forget your summer, kids, if you work anywhere around Microsoft.
Yeah. So the big focus, 4K, 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 on everything possible.
It's like, if you're still alive after that alcohol poisoning, if you played that drinking game...
I hope you didn't.
Yeah, I really hope you didn't.
I certainly hope not. We expected it to open with Scorpio. The emphasis on 4K, the techno babble at the start didn't help. The problem I have with it is what I was afraid of, that outside of Forza, 60 FPS was never mentioned again.
Yeah.
The Anthem footage was at 30, 100%. It's not going to be an issue for me, because all those games are coming to PC, so I don't care. But
for the consumer...
Yes, because ultimately... not emphasizing that has a knock-on effect on everything. You get developers who think, oh, it's okay to develop at 30 and not give the option. So when you do have an exclusive game you're stuck with console on, you don't have the same experience. You have cross-compatibility issues if you want cross-play. There have been companies that have said we can't do that because if a PC's running at 60 and a console's running at 30, the guy has an advantage, which is nonsense. It's like, nobody cares about that. But... yeah.
I did want to see them show at least one more game that was more complex than a racing game at 60. Just to kind of prove the machine could do it. The specs alone are higher than what you get with the PS4 Pro, but I mean that doesn't mean everything when it comes to like how games are entirely designed, how they function once they're complete and optimized for that actual system. So I'm curious to know. Are we only going to get racing games that can run at 60 on this console? And is that actually a reason to buy it?
Well, we go back to the fact that most people still don't have 4K capable devices.
Or a 4K TV to really even...
Well, exactly. That's why they're trying to push the whole, they'll be upscaling and super sampling, which makes very little difference. But again, what I care about is, all right, if I have a 1080p device, can I just run at 60? And then there's 4K 30. That's the best of both worlds. We're seeing quite a bit of that on the PS4 Pro. As a PC owner, I saw nothing that made me want to own a Scorpio, with the exception, which I don't need a Scorpio for anyway, of playing Crimson Skies again,
Yeah.
That's about it. Whereas the PS4 Pro is sitting there being fairly frequently used. What really gets me is that you really push this new machine. It doesn't have a single new interesting feature. When we've seen Sony continue to have things like remote play, and then we see Nintendo go full on with the Switch saying this is portable and look at all these different ways to play and all this functionality. And then we look at Microsoft and it's just dead silence. Outside of cross-play, which, is just cross-buy really, it doesn't do anything that the other machines don't do. At all. It's more powerful than the PS4 Pro. We get it. It doesn't do anything that the other machines don't.
Do you expect it to do something else when I guess it's sort of considered a mid-generation console?
It's just about service, Remote play for Sony has been around since the PS3.
Right.
That's something that you can do streaming from the PC to your Xbox, which sort of allows you to put it on a television, but remote play is a bit more flexible, allows you to use it on more devices. And the weird thing about when Xbox One first came out and got announced, they were saying a bunch of things that the other consoles couldn't do. You know, focus on what happened to the watching NFL with the whole fantasy booking thing coming in on the side. I know it was a lot of stuff we didn't care about, but it was something that the PlayStation didn't do.
Right.
And now Microsoft is playing catch up with a more powerful system that doesn't do anything different or new to any of these other platforms. And obviously with no focus at all on VR.
Yeah, well, not for this
any
conference.
sort?
Not for
Yeah.
this conference. And I think it's because they had just so much to show. That's my hope anyway, not that they just decided to pull back and wait.
Yeah, for a PC user, obviously, if you throw the whole aspect of the console out the window, what we saw there was great for PC users, because here's a bunch of games that look good. And if you're an Xbox user already, here's a bunch of games that look good. From a business standpoint, we are lagging behind Sony, I don't think that's going to help them that much.
I think you're becoming a Sony fanboy.
I'm not a Sony fanboy. I stare at the reality of Sony's lineup.
He says as his PS4 Pro sits next to him and he rubs it lovingly.
I mean, I don't love it. It's a necessary evil in my office.
I understand, but I'm just saying the Xbox has never made it in your office.
Of course, for me, it's good that the Xbox is not a necessary evil for me because of the PC support that you're getting, which is great, and I'm really approve of that. I don't know how it's not going to help Xbox in terms of it losing to the PlayStation in terms of sales. That's not going to help it.
Oh, console wars aside, I think we saw a lot of really good games.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I'm excited for a handful of them.
Metro.
Yeah, the sequel to Ori.
Yep.
Life is Strange 2. I know that wasn't your cup of tea,
no,
but
I don't care about it.
I like my story-driven, crazy stuff like that, and a lot of other people seem to dig it too.
Yeah. Shadow Mordor looks great. A lot of those indie games look great.
Weeb Souls.
I'm not into Weeb Souls.
Neither am I. So that was interesting. Crackdown.
Yes.
That'll be interesting to see more of that and really get more of an idea.
That did say Windows 10, didn't it?
It did.
I think, yeah.
I believe so.
There was nothing there that isn't coming to Windows 10, right? Not that I know of. Not that I saw.
There were so many games. So many games. And I'm not upset by that. I am not upset by that.
No, why would I
at all. So I think that anybody who had expectations going into this probably, wasn't. I don't believe it would be a letdown for anyone unless you really expected Scorpio to do something
radically
crazy.
Different.
Yes. But knowing that we already had the specs before even going into this conference.
People are saying Cuphead is not coming to PC. That would be a shock if that were true.
That'd be devastating.
It's also 100% false. CupheadGame.com says Xbox One, Windows 10. It's not coming to PlayStation. That's the thing. And also, the exclusivity actually, I was completely wrong. Last year, they said it was exclusive PC and Xbox One. In 2016.
So have they backpedaled and they literally snatched up the full exclusivity?
They had it anyway. They had it in 2016.
I just mean throwing it only for console.
No, it's on PC.
Okay.
So it's the same as it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that. I didn't know that was the case. Apparently, it was also always an exclusive. Weird.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go play Metro again, just so I can play the new Metro when that comes out.
Yeah, I could dive right back in on that.
Yeah.
It was a show. To me, it was a show for people that already own an Xbox.
Yeah.
They're saying, look, we're still very much in the market. There's going to be a ton of great games coming out. Just stick with us. And if you want a better version of the Xbox, we have the Xbox One X available for you.
And I do actually feel like it was also for people who perhaps aren't in, who haven't already acquired an Xbox device.
I don't think it was for them.
Well, I just mean in the fact that, the price point of the entry right there, you can't at this point, as you said earlier, build a PC with those kinds of specs for that same price.
You're totally right. 100% right.
I do believe that, from that standpoint, it might be an opportunity for some people to jump into getting an Xbox if they don't have one. Although I honestly and personally do not know anyone who does not own either console, either an Xbox or a PlayStation.
You bring up an interesting point that I didn't think of, that it may very well be an attempt to pull people that have older PCs away from PC back to console. Just saying, look, the reason you own a PC, we have all of those games, we have the variety, and we have the power, and it's at an affordable price, rather than you saying, oh, well, my motherboard's out of date, my CPU's out of date, my GPU's out of date, I'm still running Windows 7, I've got to upgrade to Windows 10, look at the cost of this compared to just buying a $500 box that does it all.
Right.
That is actually a pretty good sell. For those who are currently running decent PCs...
There's no reason to get it.
No, but Microsoft, that's the thing, Microsoft doesn't really care, do they?
Because, no, they have enough money. Why would
well,
they...
if you buy their games through Windows 10 or anything they publish, they're still making money off that.
So I mean, they don't rely on their console sales so much anymore.
No, they at least they're starting to treat Windows 10 as part of their actual ecosystem. Remember back when Windows 7, they were just ignoring it even existed when it comes to their games. It's like, no, why would you do that? That's bonkers. Of course, I'll still stick to PC. That to me, that I don't see a reason as any higher end or mid range PC owner to own a Xbox X at all. But I guess I'm not the target market.
No, it's
so
like I don't buy my games on like the Windows 10 store. I
don't blame you.
I am a Steam user and I'm not ashamed to say it. It's just how it is. So when these games eventually hopefully come to Steam,
a lot of them do. A lot of them have. Not all of them.
Right.
Once you've got the damn game installed, it's fine. It's the process of buying it and installing it that is a pain in the arse.
It's like you better make it very, very easy for me to purchase it and for updates
right
to be automatically updated. And I need to be able to jump in, play your game, and it not to be a hassle. If it's difficult for me, I'm sorry, but I have so many other things to do and so many other games to play.
I would have wanted them to spend at least 5 minutes of that saying, we have a relaunched Windows 10 store. It's much, much better. Here's the functionality we have. Here's us pretending that we're not 10 years behind where Valve and Origin are right now. But not a peep. Yeah. It's just like, just ignore it. It's like, look, you're bringing out all these cross-platform games, and the venue by which you're selling them is terrible. That's a problem. And you haven't addressed it.
I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't, because I agree with you. It's like, I'd love to challenge you on that, but I completely agree with you. That's why I don't use their storefront. I just can't. It's just, no. No, it's a shame. I do feel like that conference was not targeted at us. It wasn't for us.
Yes and no.
It was there to show us the games.
A lot of them that we already were aware of.
And that's kind of it.
Which is fine.
Really.
There's nothing wrong with that necessarily, considering we whined about
not having that with the previous conference.
Yeah, it would be pretty hypocritical to complain about it. It's just, we went into this thinking they've got to do something to set themselves apart from Sony, and they elected not to do that. They elected to stay the course, and I don't know how well that's going to work. But
we saw the Sony conference coming up, though. I mean, it's...
Well... You mentioned this, that in EA as well, that they were focused on games coming out in the next 4 quarters.
Yes.
Microsoft are as well. Yes. Sony are the guys that tend to throw things out 2 or 3 years in advance.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Sony's like, this is where we're going. Microsoft's saying, this is where we are.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's more grounded.
I prefer
my bullshit-ometer did not go off during that conference very much, which is nice.
One of the main reasons we don't actually attend these conferences so much anymore is because it seemed to me like our audience, well, mostly your audience, I'm going to say, because I don't participate in this quite as often, but your audience tends to like it when you cover games that they can purchase right now.
Right now.
And otherwise, there's no reason to cover it, because it's like I can't get my hands on it. I can't, if there's not a demo, if there's not live beta right now, and even if there is a beta, I kind of really don't care. I want to play the game when it's finished. I want what you're showing me. I want to play what that trailer is showing me that I'm going to be able to play right now.
Not in 3 years.
Right. And so for me, like the Microsoft conference was kind of like that in a way. It's like I can at least I know I'll be able to play a lot of these things in November. Yeah. That's cool.
The flip side of stuff being that far out is that the Sony conference tends to surprise a lot more as a result, because it's like, yes, we have new announcements. Yes. We have new stuff to show you.
But you won't be able to play it for 2 years.
It's the shock and awe factor versus this kind of practical approach that Microsoft's had for the last couple of years.
And the problem I have with some of the Sony conferences in the past is when they do stuff like that, like, oh, you're going to be able to play this amazing game 2 years from now, then they cancel it before it even gets out there.
True.
I'm not going to say anything about games like, was it Scalebound, whatever?
Well, Scalebound's cancelled, yeah. And this is one of the issues that Microsoft has. They don't have exclusives. I know people are going to turn around and say, TB, you don't like exclusives. I know. I'm not talking about what I like. I prefer that's not that I don't have to switch over a console to play a game. But the business reality is that exclusives sell consoles. That is a fact.
True.
And Microsoft doesn't have them. Sony does. And Sony in 2017 is rocking it in that regard. And Microsoft isn't. So that is that. But I'm very happy as a PC owner that I'm not worried too much about that. That everything that I see there, I'm going to be able to play. And a lot of it looked really good.
I'm actually kind of happy just as a consumer, as someone who, well, as a corporate consumer, that I don't have to worry about buying a console for you in November. Ta-da! And no, you're not getting it anyway. You have literally spent the last however many minutes reasoning with me why you don't need one. No, exactly. But you have done this in the past where you're like, but this is my job. I have to have one so that way I can talk about it on the podcast. Guess what? You just argued yourself out of getting...
And it's on record now.
It is completely on
record. I can't
record.
get away with it.
All of you are my witnesses.
God
this
damn it.
man will
Don't enable
not...
her.
He will not be getting an Xbox XXX Porn X console.
That's what the holodeck's for, am I right?
No. No. It's too small to get lost.
Yeah, that is another thing that, that Microsoft, obviously, they have some interest in VR. They've got nothing to show. Sony already has a VR system out, and by all accounts, it works relatively well. I don't own it because I've got the PC-related ones, but they have games and exclusives on them, and that is shifting units. They've sold over 1 million of the things already. That is another reason to buy Sony. And Microsoft does not have something like that. And as I said, I think the Xbox One X is going to sell poorly. I do.
I think that it'll sell well for people who don't already have an Xbox or people who want to play original Xbox games. Like, for example, if you were a child who is now a teenager, like, for example, my son, who, when he was of the age to actually play video games, the 360 is what, he missed all of the original Xbox games. So
that backwards compatibility is quite tempting, I'll admit.
So that is a reason for a sale from just me from a
But
pure
you don't need an
standpoint.
X for that, do you?
You don't, but
the price difference is the issue I've got with it. Because you're saying, well, you're not in the console market now, so you want to get in. Well, here are your choices. PS4 Pro at $399, assuming they don't drop its price right before the launch of the X, which I would absolutely expect them to do. I would expect $50 off the Pro just before the X comes out of $500, just to undercut them. And then you're spending $250 on a S, and it's about $250 for a regular PlayStation 4. And then you're asking $499 of a parent, you're asking $499 of a student, $499 of anybody. That's without any games or any accessories. That's a tough sell in my opinion.
But as a parent who actually still has her original Xbox games.
Yeah, but you can get a normal Xbox for that.
Of course.
You can just get an S for that.
Yeah, I know, but even like hooking with, do we even have connectors that hook up to our TVs that match that anymore? I don't remember. It's been a while.
Well, yeah. Again, though, you just buy an Xbox One S, the regular Xbox One, and play those backwards compatible games at half the price.
I'm just saying they're hitting multiple markets. I don't think that there's anything wrong with them releasing this as like a mid-generation console. I don't think there's any harm
I have nothing
in
wrong
it.
with it in principle. I just
I
don't know who they're selling it to.
But that's the whole thing. You're playing console wars versus a PS4 Pro. And
anything, any PlayStation or a Switch or anything else.
Really? You wanna go versus a Switch?
Well, power-wise, it's irrelevant. But look at what you can do with a Switch. You can take it with you. It's portable. It's got exclusive games. The Xbox does not. People saying, by the way, the S was cut to $200. Very limited bundles for the next week only. Standard price will be $249. The Verge article was very much wrong on that. That was confirmed several times. It's a kind of enthusiast console, I guess. Like I said, if PS4 Pro's not selling well at $400, I don't think this will at $500. It's a tough one. It's a real toughie. But there is an X factor.
Oh, no.
4K Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
Big deal. A lot of people have 4K. Yes.
Is it to you?
Yes.
Okay.
And you want to know why? Because you got a 4K television, you don't have the media to play on it.
That's the whole thing, though. It's like, and this is the scenario that I would imagine I would face, again, as a parent, because I have a teenager, is going to be a situation of, well, I want to be able to play this, and I want to be able to play it in 4K, but Mom, we don't actually have a 4K TV, and I want to be able to see this. I don't want it to be super sampling. I don't want this whole upscaling.
Who's going to say that?
Our son.
Oh, okay, yes.
Our son
but
will say this.
He's a big dork, and you know it. Big dork.
He is your son. What do you think you trained him to say?
95% of the time he's playing Gary's mod. He doesn't care about 4K.
The fact that you think that your kid trying to talk you into a 4K television. I'm sorry, did you just...
You wouldn't have to talk me into a 4K television.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. Witness, everyone right here, right now, witness. This man just talked himself out of getting a 4K television for Christmas this year.
I
don't care about your monitor. I don't care about your one monitor. You have one monitor versus two. You have one that's not 4K, and then you have one that is 4K. Yeah, because the other one's 144 hertz. And besides, the new Ace of Predators out that's 4K, 144 hertz. You can sit in your little dungeon, and you can bring your little PS4 Pro in here and just play on your 4K monitor and just have all that fun to yourself.
Oh, yes.
And for Christmas, you get nothing. Nothing!
The Microsoft conference, ladies and gentlemen, yeah.
Where I rip more on my husband than on Microsoft themselves.
I mean, Microsoft didn't have a lot to rip on, like, honestly.
No, they showed me exactly what I wanted to see besides Halo 6.
That's why I can't wait for Ubisoft tomorrow.
And see, this is the whole thing. It's like, I want my child to be able to experience Master Chief. It's like, I want that for him. Xbox.
Get Halo on PC. Just give it up.
No! It's so much better with the Xbox controller.
I'm disowning you right now. You do not get to say that.
I do.
Disgraceful. All right, that wraps us up, folks. We're back today. We got more later on tonight. Make sure you pick up your coffee because the Bethesda conference is basically at midnight tonight Eastern. Schedule's on the screen right now. We've got a countdown in the chat as well. Expectations for that one. We hear leaks about Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. There is some sort of AAA freemium thing they're working on that's unannounced. And it'll probably be 20 minutes of Elder Scrolls Online.
Ugh.
Ouch. Yes.
You don't get to say that.
I do.
No, you may have
Xbox
pre-ordered
X
something.
gonna give it to you.
You may have pre-ordered something. You may have pre-ordered something. That's all I'm saying. You may have pre-ordered something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll be back. If you missed any of this, I'm rerunning it right after this, so stay tuned. Rerun of the Microsoft conference happening in the next few minutes, and we'll be back for Bethesda at midnight. Thank you for watching and for your continued support. Thank you for making us, I believe, the largest... Well, we don't count Lyrics. It's unfair to count Lyric. One of the biggest English-speaking streams here on Twitch for the Twitch conferences. Over 35,000 concurrent viewers. Unbelievable. That's amazing sport. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate that. We hope to break that 40K barrier for Ubisoft. There will be comedy. There will be cringe.
Yes, there will be.
It'll happen. Dancing Lions, not guaranteed. Rerun coming up. We'll see you in Bethesda.